we made it
Hi.
after hours of tech support for Allison. You know, that's how I
The tech
love to start my
support.
day.
The tech support was just totally like general tech support. It had nothing to
Yeah.
do with podcast recording.
No, nothing at all. It was like, Chris, I don't know how to save files. I'm like, this is not the time,
Listen,
Allison.
you're
This
making
is
me
not the
sound
time.
really dumb. You also couldn't figure it out in the tech support, which is why it took longer. So don't
I didn't.
act like that.
I didn't know what you were doing, so I was like, you know what? That's just.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
man. Well, we made it finally. We finally made it on there.
Did. We
Whew.
did. I was laughing at Matt because he texted me. We had an AC guy come out, and like, I'm just not the person that these like people need to be talking to because I could care less. Like, I'm just like, I
You're
don't.
like, here's my credit card. Just go for it.
Well, I don't want to be like that. I just am like, you're full of it. Like, this is all a lie. You're just trying to get my money. I don't know. And so when I like, and they drone on and on
Oh.
and on about the issues or about what they're trying to get you to upgrade. And I'm just like, can we go already? Let's do this. Let me pay and get out of here. And so
They're
my
like, well,
husband,
your flange is on
exactly.
a 75-degree incline, and we need to move that to a 12
So
and a half.
So Matt asked me, did he try to sell you anything? The AC guy that came this morning. And I said, yes, something that I didn't understand. He said, so you just told him no? I said, yes, I told him I would talk to you about it. Something about circuit boards, coils, switches, surge protectors, or buttons. I can't remember. So like all things we were
Just
talking
everything,
about.
anything possible that they could discuss.
I don't
That's what's
know.
there.
Something about we have 2 surge protectors. No, 2 circuit boards, a main circuit board and a I don't know. I'm just like, you realize I didn't go to trade school for this. So why are you talking to me like I did? Like,
The more confused you are, the more likely you're just to hand over the money. Like, here, just
Yeah.
take it. Just take it. Just take
he's
it.
just
Leave me alone.
throwing words at me. It's like when a financial advisor is like, mutual funds, stock options, like bull market. Like it's that's what he was doing. He was just throwing technical terminology at me as my eyes glazed over. And I was like, I really want you to leave my house now.
You know what? I've had enough of you. So wait, what is this? This is your air conditioner?
This is our outside air conditioner, which,
Like, you're air conditioning the outside?
well, it lives outside, but no, and then he looked at the furnace, which I'm like, why does that matter? What does that have to do with anything? I don't know. Why are you looking at both? Did we
Might
ask
be
you
able
to
to sell
look
you a
at
new
both?
furnace.
I don't know, but it was something about the drip pan and the gravity versus pressure. You have the pressure systems and the gravity systems, and you have the gravity system, but look at this. This is not going to be gravity. It's going to get all up in the coils and the algae. And I'm like, I'm just like checked out of this conversation. I'm like, I'm not committed to having this conversation with you, sir. Just please let me swipe my card and you can leave.
I remember I had to help my dad with their air conditioner because there was like these wet spots appearing on the ceiling. And I was like, oh crap, I think there's like a little drain pan from all the condensation.
Yep.
And so
That's
if it
when
gets
you know you have
clogged,
an issue. I know.
Yeah.
And it's going to get in the coils.
Well-
And that's where algae grows.
well, we went up there and I almost died. I was like, why is the attic so hot? It's not hot outside. And I was like sweating. My whole shirt was a whole different color, like within 3 minutes of being up there. And
Oh,
we had
and
to
that
go
can
up there.
ruin your circuit boards.
Oh,
and
man,
a
watch out
circuit
for
board,
circuit
I have
boards.
2 circuit boards. One of them's $1,200. One of them's $500. And then you have to replace the whole system. And that's going to cost at least $3 or $4 grand. Sorry.
Oh, poor Allison. Well, Christina said she's glad to catch us live. We're happy to have a few more people in there joining us.
Awesome. Okay, so did you help them? Did you figure it out?
Oh, yeah, we had there was a blockage in the drainage line, Allison. So we had to get up there. We had to reroute it, and my dad put a new PVC pipe out to the backyard. I don't know why I have a southern accent now, but it felt appropriate.
Well, that's good.
My dad's from the
'Cause
South,
You
so
probably
that's
had
why.
a gravity system, and your
Yeah.
pipes probably went up at some point and then down, but water doesn't do that, which is what causes there to be a blockage in the coils.
Welcome to another episode of AC Talk with Chris and Allison. If your HVAC system is down, don't worry, we got you. We have years of experience, years and
Oh
years
my
of experience with
gosh.
this.
Anyway,
Oh man, so well that sucks.
yeah.
Sorry to hear
that's okay.
that.
That's okay.
Where I
what it
live, we don't have an air conditioner. Like, no one in this like area have air conditioners really, because it's like
That's
usually
crazy
a
to me.
cool area. Like, it's normally the weather's pretty mild, but you know, it's been getting hotter, so I have like a
I was
little
going to
portable
say,
one.
you say that, but then every year you're complaining because you're like, Allison, it's 97 degrees in my apartment and I have 5 fans on me and a portable AC. And I'm thinking, if you have to have a portable AC,
Okay,
you should have a regular AC. And
so
don't talk to me about how
uh,
amazing Southern California
well,
is
hold
with your
on.
high prices and no AC.
I have to pull the AC out like a week, 1 week every year. Like that's the
Mm-hmm.
most for to pull it out. But the thing is, all this neighborhood is old. Like this whole city is old. It was built, I don't know, in the 50s or 60s. So back then, it was cool enough all the time that you didn't need air conditioners. But now when people build homes, they build them with air conditioners because it's a lot hotter than it used to be.
Well,
So
if they put an
take
air conditioner
that.
in your apartment, rent's going to go up by $1,000 a month. So,
Hey, don't put that on me. Where we live, we've been here for 3 years. They have not raised the rent once,
what?
and I'm not.
We should send them the
No,
CPI
don't
report
talk.
to let them know that
Don't
prices
talk to them.
are
Don't
going
talk to them
up.
about that. Everything is good. I appreciate it.
That's impressive.
But yeah, okay, all right. Should we get into the episode at all?
Yeah,
Should we,
let's do it. Let's do our clap first.
Should we do that? Oh yeah, we got to sync this up. Okay. All right. You want to do it? You did last time in Spanish. You gonna do it in Spanish again?
Yes, let me do it. Ready? Uno, dos, tres.
That was real fast.
Sorry.
You caught
You weren't
Discord
ready.
off guard here.
sorry.
You didn't even give them time to prep
Uno.
the clap emojis.
I apologize. Sorry,
That's
Angie.
rude. That's rude. Angie
Sorry,
was ready.
Froggy Mama. Anyone
knew what
else
you're
who's
doing.
here?
Yeah, if you didn't know, we have a Patreon, and if you're a patron, you're joining us live in the Discord chat right now. So we actually have someone new joining us today. So Abby's in there, which I think I was looking at a list. I was like, we don't have an Abby. I think Abby is someone else, but that's their username. But if they don't want their name to be exposed, I will keep it private in the chat. So, but yeah, you can come join us. Was it patreon.com/this
This
is awkward podcast. I forgot to link that quick.
Yeah. Okay,
But,
let's do
I
this.
guess we
I
can
cannot
get there.
wait to hear your embarrassing story.
Oh, it's Claudia. Okay, Claudia is the new person joining us in Discord.
Welcome, Claudia.
Welcome. All right. Let me prepare myself to be embarrassed here.
I can't wait.
Okay. So, Allison, did you ever go to like 6th grade camp? Was that a thing in Texas?
6th grade camp?
Yeah. Was that another thing there?
No.
So, I don't know if it's just the part of Southern California I grew up in or how wide that is, but when 6th grade, it was a thing that you would go to camp. Like, that would be like at the end of the year, right before graduation, you go to this camp. And so it was like this
Overnight?
Yeah, like overnight. I think it was like a weekend you would
Okay.
go. So your class would go, and it would be like other kids from other schools would be there as well.
Okay.
And the one we went to, it's like in the like hills of California. It's kind of like deserty. Looks like when you think of like a ranch, like in movies, like the Wild West Ranch with horses and tumbleweeds and dirt and sand. Like that's what it looked like. And it was really fun. Like it was a really cool experience. Every kid gets to do that out in this area. And so the thing was, I was a huge nerd, Allison. I mean, surprise.
Still.
I was a
Still
huge
are.
nerd. Had these giant glasses that I used to wear.
Talking about Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, I love Dragon Ball Z. I still love Dragon Ball Z. We're not gonna I'm not gonna talk down on Dragon Ball Z. But anyways, I was this huge nerd. I didn't talk to girls. It was all really awkward. So I remember we were sitting at a table, at this lunch table, at this huge dining hall, these long tables. And it's like the guys were all sitting together with our counselor, and he's all talking. And like, there was like this young guy, and he's like, oh, yeah, the girl was asking about you, like to some other guy. Like, they're all talking. Oh, were they looking at me? Oh, and I was like, were they looking at me? And he was like, yeah. They asked about you too. Hey, this is Chris.
And this is Allison. You're listening to Man, Is That Awkward? I'm just going to say, oh, poor Chris. I can just picture young Chris with his big glasses, his pocket protector with his Pokemon cards and Dragon Ball Z, paraphernalia. Just thinking,
Oh,
I just want a girl to look at me.
it's so cringy thinking back on it. And the thing was, even at what are you, 12, 13 in 6th grade? Even then, I was like, this man's lying to me. He knows no one was talking about me. He just was trying to spare my feelings. This poor little kid's feelings. Well, I wasn't even little. I was like 5'10" in 6th grade. So I wasn't
my
even
gosh.
I wasn't even small. I was a grown man. And it was just like he tried to recover, but I just knew. I was like, nobody's talking about me.
Yeah. I mean, it's good because that means that he's not like a lying person. Like he's bad at lying, and that's a good quality in a person. But in this case, it just set you up for a world of hurt.
It did.
I'm
It
sorry.
was so sad. Even Christina. Thank you for your sympathy.
Oh, poor
Thank you for your
Chris.
sympathy.
I
But
wonder at what age did you become a little bit less dorky to where girls might actually have started looking at you?
well, let's clear things up first. I've never stopped being dorky. Like
That's
I've
true.
never let that go.
Yes,
But
but I feel like you hide it a little bit better
I
more, or
hide it a little bit
maybe,
more now.
yeah.
People assume I have it more things together than I really do.
Oh, he
Uh,
has nothing together, guys.
but I remember, so I was always kind of like a little chunky kid. I was never like real big, but I was always like chunky. I
Mm.
was never in shape. And so I think when things changed was when I got to 10th grade, they had a
Mm.
weight training program. And so
Oh,
then I joined that and I started lifting weights, and all my friends I grew up with didn't go to school with me. We lived somewhere
mhm.
else. I went to this different school because my parents worked there.
Yeah.
And they all were in football and they were lifting weights. So I started lifting weights like crazy. I started running with them and I got in like crazy good shape. And then that's when things kind of started to change. I got a little more confident. I was never super confident in high school, but I got
Yeah.
an ounce of
Little.
confidence, just a little bit. And that kind of helped the tiniest bit. I don't even want to exaggerate how awkward and still like lacking, how much confidence I was lacking growing up. But yeah, that helped a little bit.
A little bit. Well, I feel like that we're just waiting for like a she's all that moment where like you turn
Still waiting.
this could have been like this like movie like scene where he starts working out. I'm picturing it in my head. You're lifting weights. There's like Rocky music in the background or something. And anyway, but no, that camp experience was awkward. And I'm just so happy you got to share it here because that's what we do here, right? We share awkward stories, specifically
Mm-hmm.
your awkward money stories.
Yeah, I'm so embarrassed by telling this story. I forgot where we were in the show, but
Oh my goodness.
what do I say next? I said something. Oh yeah, if you want to be a part of what we do here on This Is Awkward, as I'm so off now. If you want to be a part of what we do here on This Is Awkward, which is the best part of what we do, you contributing your stories makes this show great. You can send us a message on Instagram. Just look for awkward. This is awkward podcast. Wait, hold on. I don't even remember how this works anymore. Allison, I'm thrown off. You can take it from me. I'm done.
Okay. Chris is just too embarrassed. He's thinking back to that day,
Poor
reliving
little
it in
Chris.
his head.
Oh,
We're going to have him
poor
cause him to
Chris,
have
man.
nightmares. Regardless, this is where we talk about your awkward money stories.
Oh,
If
that's
you
what we
wanna
say
be part
next.
of
There
our
we go.
show, if you want to be part of our show, you can call in and share your awkward money story at 707-200-8259. You leave us a voicemail, or you can write us at This Is Awkward Podcast over on Instagram. We would love to tackle your awkward money situations, whether they're happening in the present moment or even if they've happened in the past, and you're sitting here thinking like, oh, this happened to me. I wonder if I should have handled it differently. Or maybe it'll help someone else who might go through something similar. Let us know. We want to hear about it.
Thank you. Okay, I'm back on track now. I remember how the show works again.
Okay,
Oh.
good.
Well, today's episode, we're going to be talking about a story that came into us on our website. If you didn't know, you can go to awkwardpodcast.com. And there we have a whole website with all the past episodes. You can leave us a review, which we love seeing. And you can also share your awkward stories with us there as well. And that's what today's awkward anonymous writer did. They left us a story about figuring out when is a good time to open up a joint bank account with your partner, especially after experiencing some cheating in past relationships.
Yeah, that's a big one. I can't wait to talk about it because I feel like, you think eventually it has to happen. So when's a good time
Yeah,
to
and you know what,
combine money?
Allison, I think a lot of people right now are asking themselves, when is a good time to join the This Is Awkward Patreon? And I would say right now.
I think
right
that
now is a
now
great time.
Yes, I mean they say that the springtime is the month of Patreon podcast joining season.
That's what
So
they say.
take it away, Chris.
And now it's your turn to mess up. Okay, so we have a Patreon where we not only have a great group of people in Discord right now who are joining us. Also, Abby said that fifth grade camp was also in California, which she went to. Wesley said that it was great. He went for a week. So yeah, I think maybe it's just you. Angie, of course, went to science camp, because she's working in labs. That's where she got her inspiration in science camp back in the day.
Oh, nice.
See? But you can be like our great patrons here and join us in Discord for live chats while we're doing the episode. We also do bonus episodes every month. So we do at least 2 episodes where we touch on different topics. I think last week our topic was, It was home crazy house prices. It
Oh my
was our
gosh.
junior supporter out there. We were talking about we just kind of dive into all these things that we don't really have time to flush out on the show, and even sometimes we go back and revisit old stuff as well.
Hmm. And it's actually a really good time to sign up now because we usually take a month off in the summer
That's
of
right.
our regular recordings, but we still release Patreon content. So if you still want Patreon content, if you still want to get new episodes from us, join now. You can go click the link in the show notes or go to patreon.com/This Is Awkward Podcast.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll hop into our awkward story. This is where the break lives. Ooh, it's a break.
Okay, do you want to read this or do you want me to read it?
I'll read it. I don't think I read them that often. I'll jump in and read this one.
Okay. Don't stutter.
Oh man! See, now you've jinxed me now, and I'm gonna stutter all over this thing. Which is a remix. Okay. How about you bring us back from the break?
Okay, I'll do this. Ready? We're back from the break.
Chris, you got your drink ready, I see?
I'm excited. I need to get some popcorn. I'm ready to hear about this awkward story. Go ahead and take it away.
All right. So I'm gonna be looking over here because I gotta read it from this screen. All right. So our anonymous writer wrote. Oh, it's starting off great. Everyone, get ready for me to read these two paragraphs. Our anonymous writer wrote in, and this is what they said: "My boyfriend of 2 years cheated on me and left me for another woman. My now ex-boyfriend, the woman he left me for, and I used to work together, but we work in separate locations most of the time. After only 3 months of knowing this woman, this new woman that he just cheated on her with, he opens up a bank account with her before he leaves for boot camp. He buys her a new phone and matching AirPods to help with the long distance relationship. Karma hits him while he's away for about 2 months, and she cheats on him with another coworker. From what I heard, they've been adding money to the account for about a couple of months, with him contributing the larger sum before they broke up. So with all of that, when do you think is the best time to open a joint bank account with a significant other, and should contributing to the account be equal between the both of you?"
Wow. Okay.
Take it away, Allison.
Well, first off, when you said boot camp, I was thinking like do y'all have CG out there, Camp Gladiator, where like people go to like outdoor?
No, what's that?
It's like exercise class. They like boot camp exercise. Like you go out for an hour and you work out with people.
Like just like regular, like anyone, like adults?
You pay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like Camp Gladiator, it's all the rage over here. Everyone
I've
posts
never heard
about
of this.
it. You can if you're a CG member, you post about it and you get people to join, and then you get so many months free.
Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Got it.
Angie, no, it's not a pyramid scheme. Angie says it's like Barry's boot camp. I don't know.
I don't know what Barry's boot camp is either.
Chris doesn't know anything about exercise, guys.
Now, if you want to talk about tech,
all exercise references, anything that involves physical activity, we should not expect him.
No, just exclude me from it, please. I don't know what that is.
So here's my thing. I'm all about everyone doing what's best for them. So I know what's best for me in terms of opening bank accounts. And maybe it's because I don't know. I don't feel like I struggle with trust issues, but I did not merge money with Matt until we were married. But my best friend merged money with her boyfriend when they moved in together, but they had been dating for 8 years or something.
They were common law married already at that point.
Yeah. But so for me, here's my thing. When we think about the aspects of our lives, money is such a huge aspect of our lives, and we should treat it respectfully. And so for me, opening up that aspect of my life to someone else who I'm not fully committed to, marriage commitment, I'm going to be hesitant to do that because it's such a big it is such a huge piece of my life, of my safety, of my security, because you don't know what someone could do, what they could take from you, anything. And it's not to say that I don't trust people or that I didn't trust Matt beforehand.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not just about protecting me, but also about protecting the other person. So I say, instead of doing that, you could do something where you just split bills, or that's what Matt and I did. We would split different things. That way it was, similar, but nothing at all the same.
It was similar, but not really.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
I don't know. And I just think, like, especially if you have been like this person who wrote in and said she's had this experience, like, to me, I would take that experience and I would guard my heart and my wallet
Mm.
just because, you know, people aren't always, what's the word? What's the
Good.
word? People make mistakes. We are humans, right? People
Yeah.
do things that they later regret. So that's my suggestion, just because we have to protect ourselves.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's no rule that says you have to have a joint account with
Mm-hmm.
the person you're in a relationship with, whether you're just dating, whether you're married. There's no rule that says you have to do that. Like, you don't, that does not have to be part of the relationship. And I think, especially like you said, if you're in the early stages or you haven't been dating that long and you don't have that firm commitment, you're kind of like, yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, if you're not, there's no good reason necessarily to combine your finances. There's Venmo, there's Zelle, there's PayPal.
Yes.
There's so many ways to share money back and forth, super quick, super easy. There's no need for that. And what came to my mind when I was reading this was the last episode we did. We talked about that young couple who were in that relationship together. Everything's combined, and the one partner was super irresponsible and was constantly asking the other person to cover expenses for them and give them money to cover things. And I think when you start to merge things together like that, you kind of, I don't want to use the word trap yourself, but you kind of put yourself in a situation where now it's going to be pretty hard to back out of that.
Yes.
Like, kind of like how you said, maybe the last episode, maybe they shouldn't live together. Like, say after you've merged your stuff together or moved in together, it's kind of hard to just say, you know what, I don't want to do either of those things anymore. And the relationship kind of stay the same. It kind of causes issues at that point.
It's exactly like the episode on The Ultimatum, which is a hit Netflix series about, are you familiar with The Ultimatum?
I only thing I know is that people have been posting about it. I don't even know what this is.
Oh my goodness. It's basically where all these couples one of them gives their partner an ultimatum. You either need to marry me or we break up, which, by the way, foundation to a healthy relationship, if I do say so myself.
Who does like to start off with an ultimatum?
And so they go on this show and they meet the other people's significant others, and they have to choose someone else's partner to live with for 3 weeks to see and test, is there really someone else better out there for me? Do I really want this? So they just
move in with someone else?
They move in
with
this
person? Where do they find this other person?
They're also the other people. Like, if I were to give Madam ultimatum and you were to give Vina an ultimatum, we would come on the show as a couple.
Oh, and then they swap?
And then they swap. And then, I know. And then
sounds like a horrible idea.
They live with someone else's significant other for 3 weeks, and then they move back in with their original partner for 3 weeks. And they have to decide, do they really love that person? I mean, it is number one for the reason right now, because it is just gold. One person is using finances as a reason to not get married. He's telling his girlfriend, oh, I just feel like you spend too much money. I feel like financially I need to be better, which he admits later on to using as a cop-out for not actually proposing to her. Regardless, all of this to say, this girl, April and Jake, right? I think it was April and Jake.
Are they in this picture here? Can you see that? Are one of those two people, April and Jake?
April and Jake are, no. Wait,
yeah,
yes. It's kind of covered up by This Is Awkward. Can you move that? Yeah, that's April and Jake. Okay. So April and Jake, they, go on the ultimatum. I'm not going to spoil it, but the end.
Please don't.
Because I know you're going to binge this. At the end, she's like, oh yeah, I went back and they were living together. So she's like, I had to live with him for a couple of months. Well, okay, spoiler, they don't end up together. Sorry.
Okay.
But because why else would she move out? So she's stuck in this situation with her ex-boyfriend because she's living with him. Now, I'm not one to talk because I moved in with Matt before we got married. So as someone who made the same decision, I know everyone was upset about it. But as someone who made that same decision, you are trapped because of either a apartment contract or, money, or, you got an apartment that you could afford together. And then if one person moves out, you can't afford the payment by yourself. Like, it just really traps you. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't live with someone before you get married. I'm not actually against that at all. I mean, I did it myself. But the money, you have to guard your money. You have to guard your finances. You just like and I'm not saying like be unreasonably overprotective, but I'm just saying like don't co-sign anything. You, if it's not necessary, like you said, it's not necessary to share finances anymore with
No.
technology today. Like you literally have no need to do
Yeah.
that.
Like
There's
I can
it's
see
not
like 30
necessary.
years ago, if you want to transfer money, you had to go walk into
Mhm.
the bank and say, fill out a form. I like to transfer money from this account to that account. Then yeah,
Exactly.
it's super inconvenient. But now you can literally within seconds send the other person money. And
Hmm.
I want to move on, but I need to ask you some more questions about this ultimatum show. I have too many questions. So the last question I'm going to ask you so we can move on is when they swap partners, are they like doing stuff with the other person? Are they
So
in a relationship with
that's
that other
some of the
person?
drama because some of them want to be together, but some of them just end up together. So, like, if I went on the show and I was the one who was giving the ultimatum, being like, Matt, you better propose to me or else, right? So if he's like, "Ooh, this is a free pass," so some of them saw it as like this free pass type thing.
Uh,
Now we don't
okay.
know exactly what went down. We do know what happened with one couple because of the after, the reunion episode, it
She
was
was pregnant when she
definitely
came back.
addressed. I'm not even going to talk about who was pregnant when they came back because, oh my gosh. And now, as someone who got pregnant on her honeymoon at the age of 24, I have no room to judge. And so I'm not judging. I'm just saying I was in shock. And I'm saying that I think if I could go back in time, I wouldn't take away Evan. I love Evan. I love Evan. I would just waited to have Evan a little bit longer. Regardless.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get away from all that. Let's
Okay,
get away
okay.
from all
All
that.
right, so back to our person here. All right. When it comes to opening, sorry, I just need to know more about this crazy
You
show.
need to watch it, Chris. I will pay you
I can't
money to
bring
watch
myself to
this.
watch it. I
I will
can't bring
pay
myself
you
to watch
money.
this.
You have no life. You can watch this.
What? You know what? Hold on, let me go there and change what I'm loving because then you're gonna really say something.
Oh
No,
no.
but I'm not gonna watch the show. But what I was gonna say is opening up a bank account with a partner is a big move. It's a big
Hmm.
step. You're commingling things together. And here's the thing: I used to work at a bank. If you have a joint bank account, you can't just go and close the bank account. You're like, this isn't working. Both of you need to come together. So it's like
Mm.
this is a joint responsibility that you have to share with this other person.
Mhm.
And so I would say there's no need to do it. I think at most what I would do, like after I've been in a relationship for someone for a long time and now we're at a point maybe we've moved in together and we're sharing expenses, we can open a joint account together,
Mhm.
but you don't need to put all your money there. You each keep your separate
Yeah.
accounts. You have a
You have
joint account where maybe you transfer
your
money in
check
there.
is directly deposited into your own account.
Exactly.
And
Keep
I
it
know
in your
people
own.
that do this when they're married.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly. Exactly.
okay. And that's okay. But here's my question though. If you do it when you're married, if you do that, if you have like I have my own bank account, Matt has his own bank account, we have a joint account, his money goes into his, mine goes into mine. The question one of she asked is,
Mm.
should you contribute an equal amount? So what
Oh,
is your thought on like 50-50 split when it comes to contributing to cover like bills and stuff?
ooh, that's a good question. Because I would say if you're doing that type of setup, that joint account is really just for day to day stuff, like cover your expenses. I know some people may do like a joint savings as well, and then maybe you're saving
Mhm.
for a joint goal. I think oftentimes the most fair thing is to be 50-50. Like you're two individuals, you kind of split things down the line. If you're going to truly have a separate, your separate expenses and you can come and share things together, I think it should be 50-50 down the middle. Like if rent
What
is
if
two
what if
thousand dollars, it's 1,000 and 1,000.
what if the husband makes $30,000 and or not the husband, the man makes $30,000 and the woman makes $100,000? You
Hey,
think the
if
man who's take home pay is 1,200 or $2,000 a month should have to give up that much?
you know what I say to this man, you're already getting a discount. You're getting a 50% discount on rent. If you were by yourself, you would have had to pay all that rent. So
I
you,
disagree with you on this one.
you really okay?
I don't think that it's necessarily 50-50. I think that it like how much someone makes should have an impact on the percentage of contribution into a shared account. And
Hmm.
I that's what I think because I think like I don't know, to me I think if I make more than my husband, which I do, I wouldn't expect him to contribute the same amount. Like if we were like, I mean, all of our money's joint. So it's not even really similar. Like I can't even imagine it, but like, I feel like that would be very unfair. And typically,
Okay.
historically, it's the female
Yeah.
who is
Typically,
going
that's
to
how it's
make
been
less.
for most of the time.
So like, or you think you have someone who's like a stay-at-home mom or someone who works a part-time job or all of these things. I don't know. I disagree with you on that one.
This is what my thought. Like, one, I don't care what anyone does. You do what works for you. Like if you think 50-50 works for you, do it. If you think of like a prorated percentage based thing works for you, go for it. You got it. The key is finding something that works and doesn't destroy your relationship. But my opinion is like, if you're going to prorate everything, then maybe you might as well just go ahead and merge your finances, because at that point you're essentially, the person making more is essentially giving the other person money to kind of cover their living costs. So you're kind of already sharing money at that point if you're prorating it. If it's like a 30-70 split and this person's putting in 70% of the cost and this person's only putting in 30, you're kind of already sharing money at that point, large sums of money, thousands of dollars every month. So I don't know. I mean, the prorating makes it hard because I don't know. Yeah, deep down I don't really care, but
yeah. I also wonder if, now this is just something that just came to me, so it could be a terrible idea. I'm just going to go over it real quick and then we can move on.
Normally your ideas that pop up in the middle of the show are terrible ideas.
Yes, they are. This is historically accurate, but we're just going to run with it. I wonder if what might work instead. Now, this is a very different situation. No, actually, I don't like that idea. I was going to say that one person, like, for instance, let's just say you have a couple that moves in together, that the rent is, like, the whole rent portion is in one person's name and that other person just, like, pays rent.
No, I don't like that.
A portion. Well, no, then I don't like that because I don't like that, like, possible, like, carrot holding over. You have to do it.
Exactly.
So
I'll get you kicked out of this apartment. You're not even on the lease.
Yeah, like so I take that back. But, like, I mean, so the pattern is continuing. I historically don't come up with good ideas in the middle of the show. But regardless, but I love what you said, Chris. Let's end it on that. Is like, honestly, all that matters is that you're both happy with it. What matters is that you are comfortable with it, that you feel like it's a good choice for you, and that you and your partner are on the same page with it. And that if something changes, that you have the freedom and the choice to change up the situation. So if you do start out separate and you decide you can go joint, and if you go joint, you can change it. Like, you're not locked into something. Just understand that if you are in a joint checking account and you want to go separate again, it does take a little bit more paper signing to get out of that.
Exactly. And I think the big thing is you need to talk about all of this before, which is hard. You need to talk about how many accounts are we going to open? What is the account going to be used for? Is it just for bills? Are we going to have an account that we're going to save for joint goals together? If we figure out we don't like this setup, how are we going to back it out? How are we going to distribute the funds back to each other? It sounds very cold to have these conversations, but you kind of have to, because either you're going to plan for it in advance and be kind of awkward having these conversations then, or be real awkward and angry and have all these other issues that pop up when you're trying to just determine how this should work on the back end of this. It's almost kind of like an informal prenup. Like you come together, you come up with an idea of how this will work, and then you figure it out. Then maybe you don't need a lawyer involved in this necessarily, but you need to talk about this. Yes,
think of it as just like an arrangement, a business arrangement. Like, it's just it's sometimes like, and I can tell you, I mean, marriage is, it's not all just like lovey-doveyness. We have business meetings. It's a business, like we have to talk about like the details and the nitty-gritty of life. That's not always fun and romantic, but it's just what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Money, it often becomes emotional because we get very invested in it. It's tied to a lot of other things. But it ultimately is a tool, and you got to kind of treat it like one and have these conversations, because you don't want it. You don't want the worst possible outcome to come from this type of situation.
Exactly. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you to our anonymous writer who wrote in. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you decide to do. And I'm glad that you're even thinking about this to begin with. That's awesome.
Exactly. It's always good to think ahead. She's like, I'm not necessarily, she wasn't like, I'm going to be opening an account with someone right now, but kind of for the future. So hopefully, this is helpful and you can use it for something.
Exactly.
So We're going to take a quick break, Allison. But when we come back, we're going to be hopping into the only reason Allison ever shows up to record these podcasts. That's to talk about what we're loving. So we'll see you in a couple seconds.
I kind of want to change what I'm loving now.
Now you want to change it? You don't like it anymore?
Um,
Oh, Angie said, by the way, she said that's what her and her husband do. I think with the
yes,
with the shared bill
build
account.
account. Yeah.
I like that. Now here, we didn't get a chance to touch on this. This comment came in from Wesley. Wesley. Here you go, Allison. I'll let you read it. I just want you to respond to this.
Hold on. What does it say? Where is it? I don't think there are very many six-figure earning women who would date a $30,000 per year dude. You know, that's what it's, you know, maybe you're right. Hopefully, I guess.
Allison, as a, you know, as a high earning woman, say you're single and you're still killing
Matt
it.
dies?
No, I didn't say that. I said, say you got sucked into the multiverse, right? And you're in a new world. You're Allison in this new world.
I know what you're talking about, Spider-Man.
Yeah, you're like Spider-Man. You got sucked into the multiverse. You're in a new dimension. And then this guy came up to you. No, let's just say no. I won't use Matt because I don't want to add him into the scenario.
Look at Angie.
What'd you say?
So the income that Allison mentioned is what we have. We did have a combo about who pays what and how much was fair. See?
Well, no, okay, but no, she didn't say this scenario. Okay, so if this guy, what was that? That's do we need to blur that out? So this guy comes up to you. His name is Jimmy. Jimmy walks up to you. Jimmy John walks up to you, and he's like, "Hey, Allison,
What?
I make $30,000 a year. What do you think about that? How about we go out on a date?" What would you say to Jimmy?
I would say, Jimmy John, you should never leave with that pickup line. That's what I would say. That is what I would say. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to put yourself in that type of situation when you're not in that situation, right?
Yeah,
so, I mean, I can't even say what I would do, and what I say now doesn't necessarily mean I would follow through with that later because I'm not in that situation. So, you're asking me to answer a question I actually can't.
Way to skirt around the question, Allison.
I'm not going to answer that question. Now, I can tell you right now that like we agreed also because he is my manny to save on childcare. So like my husband brings home less money than I do, but I see it like as, hey, I get insurance because of him. That is massive. I go to a psychiatrist and get medicine because of him. Like I can get my antidepressants filled because I'm, like easily. It's not a hassle, things like that. So I see it as, sure, Matt might make less, but he offers something that I can't easily get on my own. He also has a pension that, when he retires in 14 years, he'll have this amazing pension. And yeah, I gave up my pension. And so, I mean,
these are all good examples because Matt is a great guy. And I'm not talking about your current relationship because I think it works very well. I'm talking about Allison in a new dimension. Some rando walks up to you and starts talking to you. You find out that he makes significantly less, like we said, $30,000 in this scenario. Are you like, is that a deal breaker?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's this. Is he in a $30,000 job where he's like giving back and works hard and all of that? Or is he making $30,000 by, by flipping burgers somewhere? Because that depends. Is he making $30,000 because he's lazy, or is he making $30,000 because they don't pay people at nonprofits and he is actually, helping start up a nonprofit? Right. So what is the personality of him? Because you can make your amount of, Chris, this should be a bonus episode because what you're doing right now, sir, is you are assuming that someone's worth is tied into their salary. Hold on.
I muted Allison. First of all, that's not what I'm saying. No one can hear Allison right now. So that's not what I'm saying.
You should not mute me. Do not mute me, sir. This is called gaslighting. But I mean, so like, that's a very unfair statement to make because yeah, sure, Matt makes less than me, but like freaking he works way harder than me.
I agree.
He works, shut up. Matt works way harder than me as a teacher than I ever did or ever do now. Like so So that's just not fair. I'm lazier than Matt.
Oh yeah, I think we all agree. We polled Patreon right now. They're like, yeah, I agree.
Allison's lazy. Allison's lazier than her husband. So
But
I think it's less of what was it? Allison will not be silenced. That's right. I will not be silenced. I think it's less of coming back to Wesley's question. Can you please put Wesley's question back on the screen?
he also
so I
said,
can
"Go
see
ahead,
it
blame
again?"
me."
Yes, Wesley.
Oh wait, where's
So
Wesley's
coming
question? Let me
back
find it. Where's it
to
at?
Wesley's question, which is how many six-figure earning women are really dating a 30K, 30,000, someone making $30,000. I think it's more like how many six-figure earning women are dating men who feel stuck in their job or aren't willing to put forth effort and have a meaningful career. So you're equating, Wesley, $30,000
Yeah,
with
let's put it
someone
on Wesley.
yeah, Wesley.
Not me. I didn't ask this question.
Wesley's equating someone who makes $30,000 with someone who's like not good, right? Essentially lazy, unreliable, all of that. So, did I answer your question?
You did. I asked you because the way it was framed with a higher earning woman and a man that earns less, what your thoughts would be if you were thrusted into this situation. Because I agree with you. Like we all know, that's why so many people have left their jobs and changed careers because people don't get paid what they're worth. There's a lot of companies that just will pay you the bare minimum possible.
Yes.
Like whatever the least amount we can get someone to show up to work for us, that's what we're going to pay them. And at least people stuck in these jobs.
Someone said, "Oh, poor Wesley. Sorry, Wesley. We're going to say that question wasn't from you."
No. he said, "I don't want the smoke. I'm just going to shut up."
It's really, I wanted to attack Chris, but I have to see him again next week for a recording. So I'm going to.
Yeah, Allison was looking for a way to yell at me. So thank you, Wesley, for providing that.
Okay, this could be a little bonus. Let's get back to the show.
Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. We're still working on the show, aren't we?
We're actually trying to record a different episode. Here we go.
Okay, how do I bring this back up here?
You got to bring us back to what I'm loving.
All right, let me hide this.
Now I don't want. Now I want to change what I'm loving.
Do you want to change it? All right, I'm gonna read the Discord chat real quick.
I want to talk about the ultimatum, but I already talked about that.
Yeah, don't talk about that again.
Okay. How do I see what I've watched recently?
Angie said, so the income that Allison mentioned is what we have. We did have a combo about who pays what and how much was fair. Oh, you read this already, didn't you? Beth Ann said, you would be surprised. I think a lot of people in the dating stage don't even talk about money until way later. That's 100% true.
Oh, I know what I'm loving. Okay, let's go.
You got it? Okay. All right. Let me come over here. Let's bring us back. All right. Who's bringing us back from the break? Why don't you bring us back, Allison?
Okay, here we go. Chris, do you know what time it is?
I do. But why don't you explain to everyone else?
Well, it is time for what I'm loving. This is when Chris and I can share what we are loving with you so that way you can try it out. Whether it is a food, a thing, a person, a philosophy, a way of thinking, we want you to possibly experience it too. Not so that you can question.
There you go.
Question why we love it, but so that way you can seek joy in life, even in the finer details. Oh, that was hard.
You almost lost it there.
I almost lost it.
You brought it back though. You hung in there.
Thank you. Thank you
Do
very much.
you want me to go first so you can take a break, or would you like to hop into yours?
You can go first.
Okay.
I deleted mine. What happened? I'm looking at the spreadsheet. It disappeared. Did you delete it?
No,
I moved
I didn't.
yours.
Do you want to put it in? I know what it is.
Control Z. I got it.
All right. So the thing I'm loving, I'm going to have to give credit to one of our patrons. Beth Ann brought this to my attention. I was not aware of this documentary, but she posted it in the Discord, and I was like, what is this? This seems like something I want to watch. And it's called The Orange Years. And I think you already know about this, Allison. I don't think I can try to tell you about it and have you guess what it is, or do you remember?
Wait, I don't know.
Oh.
Is this like the orange years?
Yeah.
Is
What do you think
like,
this is?
I think that it's a it's a documentary. Ooh.
Don't be looking. Are you Googling this?
No, I'm
Don't
not.
Google
I'm
this.
not. I was thinking because you said it was documentary.
I
was
kinda gave away
thinking
part of
it
it.
was going to be like the Wonder Years. Did you watch the Wonder Years growing up?
I love the
But
Wonder
they
Years
did the
growing up.
remake. I haven't watched the remake.
I haven't watched
you?
the new one either.
I need to. Okay, so it's not the Wonder Years. That's what my first guess was. I think this is a documentary either about two things. One, about farmers who grow oranges in Florida and the difficulties they face from hurricanes and weather, or it's about prison and orange jumpsuits, the orange years, about prisoners and how some prisoners actually get released from prison, but then they actually lie and will say that they committed a crime that someone else did, so that way they can get back in the system, because that's where they find themselves like comfortable and as their home.
You've made an extremely detailed story of what you think this came from. I mean, I don't think it's a surprise for me to say that it's neither of those two things you just said.
Dang it.
Not even close.
I was like, I'm onto it with the prison thing. That's what I was thinking. And then I was like, well, it could obviously be a farm in Orange Grove, right?
Yeah, that's a possibility. It's neither of those things. Let me just show you. So this is the documentary. Thanks to Beth Ann, who gave me the recommendation.
But shouldn't they make a prison one like that? I think they should.
I think you should star in it. It should be like a drama.
The Nickelodeon Story?
So it is the Nickelodeon Story. This is a documentary about how Nickelodeon started. No, this is like their splat. I guess eventually that became GAC, right? The orange GAC and the little weird shaped buckets. But yeah, this documentary follows from the creation of Nickelodeon all the way up to like, I don't know, pretty current. I don't think it's like current, but like through the stuff we would have seen as kids growing up. And I loved every second of this.
Is there drama involved?
No, there's no drama. There's no drama. It's just telling the story. And they talk about how like there was like this little network where like, they had like this like one weird like creepy looking Sesame Street looking show. And how they brought this woman in. She came and she started off by like talking to kids and asking them like, what is it that you want to see? Like talking to them to get to know how they see the world. And they started crafting these shows. Like they brought in this show from Canada, and then they started doing all these live action shows like Hey Dude, Salute Your Shorts, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Shorts. Are You Afraid of the Dark? It's the best. I tried to find that so my kids could watch it, and I can't find it anywhere.
It's on Nickelodeon's on Paramount Plus, like all the Nickelodeon stuff randomly. This documentary is on Hulu, but all the Nickelodeon stuff is on Paramount Plus. I don't know how that worked out. It must be, whoever owns them. But yeah. And then they talked about one of my all-time favorite shows, Clarissa Explains It All. I don't know if you watched that show.
Clarissa Explains It All. I loved it. I loved it.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch herself.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I love that too.
And then they interviewed, they interviewed her. I think her name is Melissa Joan Hart. Is that her real name? They interviewed Kenan Thompson. They interviewed
Kenan
Kel.
from Kenan and Kel.
Yeah, they interviewed. I think her name is. She was on All That. She did like the news segment. I forgot her name.
All That. This is all. Yeah, right.
If you are in the millennial age range, if you, I guess you're like 30 to 40, somewhere in there, you would have watched all of this stuff, and it is like so interesting to see how the network started and how these shows came to be, and like the weird like Ren and Stimpy and like Rocko's Modern Life, like all Rugrats, all these shows came to be and end up on the show, and it was I loved it. It was This is one of the best recommendations I've gotten in a long time.
Okay, here's what I think.
Lori Beth is her name. Thank you, Christina. Lori Beth.
If Hulu can put out a documentary about Nickelodeon and how it was formed, we can make this prison documentary happen. Okay? We can do this about how prisoners become so comfortable in prison that when they leave, they pretend to commit crimes they didn't commit.
But is this even a real story? Are you just you're just making this up?
I'm pretty sure I saw this somewhere once, and I just really think that maybe we should look into this.
Oh my goodness!
I feel like this is a thing. We're gonna do some research. We're gonna do
Michelle said Netflix call Allison. She's got an idea for you.
Thank you.
But I highly recommend this show, this documentary. It's like, well, how long is this? Does it say on here? I don't know. It's like an hour and a half, maybe somewhere there. But it was if you watch Nickelodeon like in that time frame where those shows were just popping up, you're gonna love this. I learned a bunch of stuff about the network that I didn't even know because obviously I was a kid when it started. But yeah, great, highly recommended. Thank you, Beth Ann, for the recommendation. So everyone else go out and watch it.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Well, mine is not as exciting, I don't feel like.
No, I know it's gonna be so boring. That's why you write it in there.
Do you know what this is?
What is it?
Do you know
I
what
don't
it
know.
is?
I don't know what this
Okay.
is. You want
Do
to
you
tell
want to
me? You want
guess?
me to guess? Want me to guess what
It's
it is?
called the home edit.
The home edit. So I'm pretty sure it's the TV show. I'm
Okay.
assuming, and I'm imagining this is like, ooh, what I would like this to be. Since you just made up shows, what I would like this to be is that there's some
Wait,
homeowners,
hold
right?
on. I made educated guesses
You
on
just
what this show could be.
This is an educated guess.
Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
there's this home. Every episode's a different homeowner, right?
Okay.
And their house is, it's fine, but it's like cluttered, it's disorganized. They like it could be better. Like we know this could look better. So they bring in someone like a Marie Kondo type person. They come in there and they help edit their home. They're like professional organizers, and they put their cereal in them little plastic containers, and they take the cans of tomato soup and then put it in a mason jar, and then they go in and like organize their whole house, and that's the home edit. That's my guess.
That is exactly what the home edit
Is
is.
that
I
what it
hate
is?
you. Yes. They
Oh,
go into people's homes
I'm so much
or
better at this than you.
celebrities' homes. I think my explanations are better.
I'm so much
You're
better
too
than
spot
you than
on.
this.
Okay, and then what they do, and they even have a product line at Target now, and they go into people's homes who it's not like hoarders, but they just need to like get a better system in place. And so what they do is they like pull everything out. They have to edit down what they like. And then the homeowners leave, and then their team comes in and they have like a big reveal. So I watched this last weekend. I binged it. I was feeling terrible. My allergies were like out of control. So I basically stayed home and watched it. And then I actually finished one of the episodes that inspired me to clean out my fridge.
Those shows do that.
They do. And like for someone who is ADHD like me, I actually have learned a lot. And like you, I have learned how like how clutter creates chaos for me. And except, hold on, if it's my clutter, it's okay.
No, it's everyone else's clutter.
It's everyone else's clutter that makes me feel chaotic and overwhelmed. And so I was like, I want to do something. What can I do? I don't want to go buy any of these bins or anything like that. And so I had gone to the grocery store. Matt was outside doing yard work. And I was like, I'm just going to prop up my phone here, put in my AirPods, watch the home edit. And before I loaded my groceries into the refrigerator, I cleaned everything out. I washed what do you call that?
The little
Shelves,
trays, the shelves,
the
and all that
shelves.
stuff.
I didn't do anything in the door because by that time I was like, okay, I'm kind of done.
Yeah, come over it.
but I did all that, and I put all my new food in. I threw out things that were expired, and I would not have done that if I had not been watching the home edit.
The similar thing happened to me when I watched that Marie Kondo show. I forget what it's called.
Tidying up.
There we go. And I went through and I cleared out so much junk that I had. So those shows do that. See, I don't want to watch this because then it's going to make me clean, and I don't really feel like cleaning. Right now.
No, it was nice. I only cleaned that one thing. And then I was like, okay, I did it. Like I did this one thing. I'm good. And then I binged the show. So there's no more episodes to inspire me.
So this is what I want to know. Are you going to become one of those people have you ever seen those videos like on TikTok where it's like someone, they show them putting all their food into separate containers? Like they're putting like their cereal into those little cereal things. They take their snack bars and have a little compartment where they stack it all in there, and they have.
No, I think that's way too much work.
That seems like a lot of work.
I think I would rather spend that time doing something else. Now, what we do have in our home is on our bottom shelf, we have like 3 white baskets. And I have like snack foods kind of like organized in there. Like I have all the popcorn kind of standing up. And we have like what we do is we take any lunch meat containers, like anything we buy lunch meat in, we wash it, this little clear plastic containers, and we set that inside the big plastic box. And then my son, the way he likes it is like for snack, he's onto peanut butter crackers right now. He takes all the crackers and he puts them in that bin. That way in the morning he can just grab one and go. He doesn't have to open the box.
I like that. You even got him in on it.
He likes it. Yeah. So we have like big white baskets that are maybe like this big, right? That sit on the shelf. They're the depth of the shelf. They come out actually. Oh, I just hit my head.
You're directing an airplane.
And then we have little tubs to contain some of the smaller snacks. So we have like one for chips, one for like popcorn and granola bars, and one for I don't know what else. It's like Ritz crackers and things like that, like crackers and different after school snacks. So that's like the extent of me, I guess, like organizing my pantry in that way.
Mm.
But I will tell you that using those like lunch meat tubs, because my husband, he'll make his lunch sometimes, and if there's not leftovers, he'll get lunch meat. And I keep them because they're just like those Kroger. You don't have Kroger, do you?
We have
Ralph's.
Ralph's is
They're
Kroger
like
out
the
here.
Ralph's. Yeah. And I mean, they are great for corralling little things in drawers.
Okay. I can't wait for like your Instagram to turn into like a home organization Instagram.
It would be really sad. I'd have like 2 things to post. And that's it. It's kind of like,
I may watch this, but only when I feel like cleaning. Like I'm gonna have to finish the like other stuff I have to do, and then I'll watch it because I know I'm immediately gonna want to like get rid of stuff. That happens every time I see this type of stuff. I just toss it. Like this is getting donated. This is getting recycled. Get out of here.
Yeah, I love it. I think I love like cleaning and purging my home. Like I'm very much like less is more kind of thing. I mean, I say that, but then I have like junk everywhere. But like we did that naturally with our kids' bedrooms. The other day we redid my older son's room for like turning 10, and so we got out all this stuff he hadn't played with him forever. I was like, give this to kids who want it. Just Matt's like, are you going to sell that? I'm like, no, it's not even worth my time. Like I just want to give it away.
Sometimes it's not even worth it. Like I don't like making an eBay post or a Facebook marketplace. Like, no, just someone take this. I don't even want this.
Well, what we'll do is I'll do a Facebook marketplace. I'll just say like free, like just come get it. That's all I need you to do. I just need you to come get it. So anyway,
Well, okay. I may watch that. You're gonna have to watch the Orange Years. You have this mandatory, but I may watch the home edit.
Okay, and then let's put on the calendar to have our prison show. We'll have a meeting about that next Monday. Okay, so let's add that to our calendar, and we'll have the first brainstorming sesh.
Okay, we can get the outline going. Storyboard it out.
I like it. Okay, now we get to move on to your favorite segment. You want to tell everyone what this is about?
Yeah, so this segment is called the Listener Shout Out, and this is where we get an opportunity to just say thanks to someone who's listening to the show, supporting what we do, or our favorite thing that you can do is leave us a review, which that's what this person did today. So do you want me to read it or you want to take it?
You read it. I'm changing it to say the word podcast review.
Okay, this one comes from I always love Apple Podcast review usernames because they're always so random. Like mine is like I don't even know what mine is because like you kind of select it like when you create an Apple account and you don't ever go back and change it. Yeah, but I love this one. This is from Don from the Mitten, which I think the Mitten is
Michigan.
That's Michigan, right? The Mitten.
Michigan.
Don from the Mitten.
Yeah,
I love it. So she wrote. Well, I guess this person wrote. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. I guess Don could be a man too. I think I've seen an old man named Don before.
D-A-W-N. My father-in-law is Don, but it's D-O-N, short for Donald.
That's true. Okay. Whoever this is, doesn't matter. Whoever was kind enough to write this review. They said, I love this podcast. It is the perfect mix of education and entertainment. The banter back and forth between Chris and Allison has me laughing out loud at least once per episode. I've been resisting becoming a patron as I've been trying to cut my monthly subscription budget, but no, it's only a matter of time before I come over. So, Don, thank you so much. There's no pressure. We don't want to make anyone break their budget to join us here on Patreon. If you can't, you can. You just listening and leaving reviews is always a more than acceptable way for you to support what we do here.
I completely agree. And also, it's just more like an entertainment expense. Is this a necessary expense in your life? No, absolutely not. Never would we say it is, but it's more of an entertainment expense.
Yeah, like for example, if you're trying to decide between us and Paramount Plus so that you can watch, Nickelodeon shows, maybe give us a consideration first. That's what we're saying. If you're making that type of decision, you may want to choose to come over and join us on This Is Awkward. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, I think I would choose Paramount Plus so I can watch. I'm like, but isn't that where you said, are you afraid of the dark is? Do you remember that episode? The one episode I remember several episodes. One of them was about this ghost, and this boy moved to this or this boy or girl moved to this like new house out in the woods, and there was this ghost following him, and he couldn't figure out why, and he kept coming up to him and he kept saying, I'm cold. I'm cold. And he couldn't figure out like what was happening, and this ghost is just following him all around. I'm cold. I'm cold. And apparently it's from this kid who lived in the same house but died like 100 years earlier. And then what ended up happening, is that it?
The tale of the frozen ghosts.
So he died like 100 years earlier out in the woods where the house is because his jacket got stuffed in the middle of a tree trunk. So the boy alive now has to go find the red jacket and give it to the ghost that kept saying, "I'm cold. I'm cold." And then the ghost was free and, I don't know, went to ghost heaven. And that was the story. But I was like, man, if a ghost ever comes up to me and tells me they're cold, I'm finding them a jacket.
You get them a jacket, and they have to pass on to Burlington Coat Factory to live out the rest of their days, nice and warm and cozy.
Anyway, I can't believe you found it.
So this is, if you want to go find this is the 7th episode of the 2nd season.
Oh my
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Okay, I think I'm about to get Paramount Plus for my kids.
All right, let's wrap this up. We've gone way. This is the most tangents per episode I think anyone has ever.
I think we also said we were going to try to keep this one short. What happened?
Yeah, we did. Didn't even come close to keeping this short.
My bad. Okay, well, we've made it to the end of another episode. Finally,
yes, we did. We got here.
We did. Thank you to our anonymous writer who wrote in to share your story and ask your questions about bank accounts and everything like that. If you want to call in, or you blah blah blah, if you want to call in and let us know your awkward story, we would love to have you. The number is 707-200-8259, or you can send us a message on Instagram at This Is Awkward Podcast.
Yeah, and if you want to support what we do, you're like, look, I got some extra money. I really like what you guys do. I want to see some more of it. Come join us on Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/This Is Awkward Podcast. If you're listening to the podcast, it's in the show notes there. You just go click that link, and it's just $5 a month. It actually starts at $3 if you want no ads on the podcast feed, or if you want to get our bonus content, it's $5 a month, and we put out at least 2 episodes every month, sometimes more. In March we did 3, and also we're gonna take our random discussion thanks to Wesley's hateful comments. We're gonna make another bonus episode for the Patreon feed from that as well. So come join us.
Yes, we hope to see you there. Until next week. Actually, not next week. Next week, if you join the Patreon, we will have an episode out. Otherwise, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, we made it to the end.
We did. Okay, so what is Paramount Plus? How much does it cost? What age is it okay to have your
$5 with ads, I think, and $10 without ads. So for me, that means it's $10 because I don't want to watch ads.
Well, so Matt never had like cable growing up, so he doesn't understand the significance and the importance behind Nickelodeon, which is super unfortunate.
Same for my wife. They didn't have cable growing up, so she doesn't know any of these Nickelodeon shows. Which and they're amazing.
I know. And bonus information for anyone watching right now, live or listening, because we're not putting this in the regular podcast. When we Vina and Matt both came to the conclusion that the reason why they typically have a larger vocabulary is because apparently Matt and Vina were both like, well, you guys watched so much TV as kids, whereas we just read books.
Nerds, clearly. I was like, wow, was your childhood that sad that all you did
was
read
books? Oh, Clifford the Big Red Dog is on here. That was such a good movie. Did you see it?
No, I never watched that growing up. I don't remember Clifford the Big Red Dog.
No, they redid the movie. They have a movie.
Like
it's
recently?
Really good. We watched it over Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, I probably won't be watching that, Allison. I'm putting that in the list with
you should watch it with your niece.
Unscrupulous. What is that? What is that show called?
I don't know what you're talking
Unfaithful? About. Ultimatum. There we go. That's
the
what it's
Ultimatum.
Whatever that show is called.
Okay. Well, this was fun.
It was. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us.
Yes,
thanks to our patrons in Discord for being here with us. Oh, Beth Ann said, I thought about hiring a professional organizer because it's too overwhelming for me to do it myself. I've had the exact same thoughts. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, gosh.
Because I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy the process, though. That's part of it, though. Yeah. So, I couldn't hire it because I would be like, no, they're taking away the fun.
Oh, yeah, no, those thoughts don't cross my mind at all. Not even a little bit.
It's like I've asked my husband, do you want to hire someone to mow the lawn? But he's like, no, that's taking away my fun. Like, he enjoys it. I think it's because he gets away from us and he puts in his headphones and we can't bother him. I don't know.
We all need that time away. We all need that space.
We do. We all do need that space. So anyway.
All right, let's get out of here. Let me hit the end stream button here. Thanks, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Bye.
We'll see you, patrons. We'll see you next week. Everyone else, we'll see you
Friday.
in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Bye.
it'll be what? Hold on, let me look at the calendar so I can tell everyone before we get out of here. It will be on our next recording for patrons will be on April 22nd, Earth Day.
Earth Day.
All right, and so yeah,
Okay.
see y'all
Bye,
later.
guys.